Greetings. I'm making a video today looking into Babylon and its place in prophecy and the world today. Babylon is mentioned numerous occasions throughout the books, the 66 books in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. The first mention of Babylon is the Tower of Babel, which came about after Noah's flood, which was the judgment that God poured out against the wickedness and sin of men at that time. And the last time we read about Babylon in the Bible is in the book of Revelation, before the final judgment of God, which can be read in the book of Peter, 2 Peter, of fire. I will attempt to answer a number of questions in this video, such as, what was ancient Babylon and why did God destroy it? It has been a recurring theme throughout the Bible. Why? How is Babylon here today? And what are the markers of its agenda being manifested? I attempt to answer these questions and others, so I hope you enjoy. Hey you. So, to begin with, in order to help our understanding, we should really start at the beginning. And so, we can look at Genesis. Start at Genesis 3, where we see the rebellion of man found, where the rebellion of man found its inception. In Genesis 3, you can read, you can pause the video and read it, and then I'll get back. Genesis 3 really describes how the world became what it is today, with pain, sickness, and death, and so forth. And what it was, and what it is today, and that sin is rebellion against God's order, God's ordained ordination of the way things are run, the way things are made. And the main points that we see with Adam and Eve, 2 points which I'm looking at today, is Adam and Eve were aspiring to be gods. You can read that one of the devil's lies was, he said to Eve that you will be like gods, and Eve listened to the devil and gave it to her husband, and he ate. But they were following Satan's example. Now, Satan wasn't always the evil one. He was once called Lucifer, and we'll look at that after I've just described the attributes of God, because these attributes the devil will seek to copy. Number one attribute of God is he's omnipotent, which means he's all-powerful. And these 3 points, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, are all interlinked. And this is what the devil is trying to do on the earth today. And this is what he tried to do through Babylon, through mankind. So these 3 main attributes, omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, will be emulated by Satan and his cohorts. We can read in Isaiah chapter 14 about the devil and his ambitions in the world today. Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 14. Isaiah 14, 12 to 14. How thou art fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. He was called Lucifer, now he's called Satan. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, here is the ambition, the goal of this once glorious angel. This is the goal, his ambition, his focus, his drive, what motivates him. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is Satan's ambition. This is his focus. This is his drive. To be like the Most High. To take the place of God. But 15, we find the fate of Satan, and in the book of Revelation, where he says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So this is what he will be trying to do. He will be trying to take the place of God on earth through his kingdoms and systems that he is ruling here on earth. And he corrupted Adam and Eve in the beginning to accomplish his goals. To use Adam and Eve to do that in every way, shape or form. I believe also he was jealous of Adam and Eve's relationship with God. So he wanted the worship that's to God alone and to have that unity. We can see that the devil is always trying to destroy unity. But this is one attribute of God which is wonderful. The unity that is in the Godhead, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, which cannot be destroyed. So, sometime after this, the violence of men, it says, in the book of Genesis, increased to such an extent that it said that God grieved that he had made man. And so he sent a flood to destroy them because of all the violence and the bad things they were doing to each other. And so this really comes about with man trying to establish his own kingdom in himself, and in his own sphere of influence, in his own ambition, man being God in his own sphere. And thus violence increased, and all the wicked things that can happen, that do happen in man. But it says that Noah found grace in the sight of the Lord in Genesis 6:8. And so God saved him and his family. I believe that during the time when Noah was on the ark, he showed Noah in the stars his plan of salvation through the constellations. It's a very good book which goes into this in more detail by a man called Bullinger, and the book is called Witness of the Stars. This is not divination, this is explanation. God ordained even the testimony of his plan of salvation in the stars beforehand. Now Noah would have taught his children this plan of salvation about the coming Messiah and the Virgin conceiving and so forth. So they were in expectation in faith. To find out where this continues, please go on to the part 2 of this video. Thank you for listening.